guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, going to be talking about grappling. So before we do, just a quick word about the sponsors of the show. So Simplified Debt. Simplified Debt are a company that helps people who are having financial difficulties. So anybody looking for any kind of advice or to be pointed in the right direction, definitely give them a call. We'll put their number up across the bottom of the screen in just a second. They do offer a free, friendly, confidential service. So yeah, anybody struggling at all, as I say, make sure you do hit these guys up. So we're going to be talking about Grapple Wars 1. So Grapple Wars 1 is going to be 29th of April. So going to be in Wales now. My Welsh is absolutely mince, absolutely terrible. But is it Llandudno? I think it is. So I'm sure my Welsh people will definitely drop me messages. I get messages all the time. But yeah, it's going to be in hopefully Llandudno. And going to be an awesome event. I mean, we've seen Gaz and Ben have put together an absolutely fantastic group of grapplers from across all levels that are going to be on display on the 29th of April. So we're going to see some crazy matchups, some really crazy matchups. I mean, some of these guys are some of my favorite grapplers. I do have favorites. I'm not supposed to, but I definitely do have favorite grapplers. Now, ticket availability, make sure you either hit up your chosen grappler first of all. Some of them may still have tickets available. Anybody that can't get tickets from their chosen grappler, then hit up the Grapple Wars Facebook page, and you will be able to get all the details through there. Now, as I mentioned, favourite grapplers, my next guy is definitely one of them. So I've been fortunate enough, we get to chat whenever we see each other at events, we speak on this. Absolutely love him. I mean, he's a guy that goes out there to finish the match. He's not the guy that's out there playing for points. He's not there just to tussle for position. He's there to end you, which is what we love to see in grappling. So Mitch Goode of Impact Gym. Mitch, absolute honour as always, brother.
Thanks for having me, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night. I mean, I'd say the Grapple Wars not far for you because I know when we speak, I mean, you do travel, so it's good to get somewhere that's relatively close to where you guys are.
Yeah, there's a lot of traveling at the moment across like MMA and grappling. And you got to find the events now. It's good. There's loads of events all over the UK. If you're willing to travel, you'll find them. Yeah. So it's just a case of just driving a couple of hours up the road. It's fine.
Yeah. I'd say relatively close for you. I know how much you do travel. Not just you, but the rest of the guys at Impact Gym. I mean, you guys are all over the place. James Amos. James is fucking... He's everywhere.
Him, Chris Sterling as well. I think they got matches up in Scotland soon. So
yeah.
You're in the woods.
Yeah, so they're well travelled. So it's always good seeing Impact Gym out there representing and doing their thing. As you guys, and I always talk about this, you guys bring a different kind of style of grappling to what we tend to see from like traditional jiu-jitsu gyms and so on.
Yeah, we've got quite an aggressive team. I think we got a quite high finish rate across our grappling team, even down towards our white belts and blue belts in local competitions and things like that. So, and obviously we were affiliated with the Drag. We're in the Drag affiliate, one of the main teams within that. So we're constantly training with them. We're building a lot of steam at the moment. So looking forward to this year.
Yeah. Drag. I mean, yeah. There's not a lot we could say about Drag. I mean, Drag's obviously been kind of one of the top teams coming out of the UK for a good few years now, and they're just growing and getting bigger and bigger, and more people are coming into Drag as well from other places, not just other places in the UK, but further afield as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys joining the affiliation from like Australia now. We've got a couple of Australian affiliates, and yeah, we're growing and growing and growing. So
yeah,
taking over.
Does that mean you get to go out and maybe visit anytime if they're over there? You get to go out to Australia with the boys?
Yeah, they're trying to match. They're matching more and more of us now on like international shows and stuff. So I imagine that's something in the quite near future for a lot of our guys now to be traveling out there and representing. We've had like guys over in America over the last couple of weeks competing, and over in Australia. So just gradually spreading out. So yeah.
Taking over. It used to be Drag in Wales, now it's Drag worldwide.
Yeah, that's it. Well, because that's what our affiliate, our Impact's obviously in England. So we were the first one outside of Wales, and then now we're just starting to expand. So as long as
Yeah.
we keep winning and doing our thing, more people will want to get on board, I think. So we're doing something right.
I love that as well because I remember like Grapple Kings. I remember there was the Wales versus England, and obviously yourself as part of the
Yeah,
Wales team, which
yeah,
obviously an Englishman representing Wales.
yeah.
So
I
and
get a
then
lot of questions about it all the time. I do. Yeah, I represent the team. I don't necessarily, I
yeah,
represent Drag. So most of the competitors on the Welsh team happen to be from the Drag team. So happy to
yeah.
represent always.
No,
Yeah,
definitely. I'd say it makes no difference. I'd say jiu-jitsu is a universal thing. I'd say it
yeah,
shouldn't make a difference
it's fun.
what countries and stuff like that. I'd say, as you
Mm,
say, it's you're part of a team,
mm,
not specifically a country. So,
yeah.
but that was a great event. Grapple Kings 8 was awesome. Really, really
Yeah,
good
enjoyed
event.
that. Yeah. Our guys did really well. The one recently, the against Ireland, was super close. So it was
Yeah.
quite entertaining to watch. It was good.
See, I was commentating, right, and there was obviously a few matches that Josh wasn't happy with,
Yeah,
and there was a few matches where we as the commentators were sitting there. One of the big ones was the Francesco Bartolotta match,
yeah, I
um,
disagree with that. Yeah,
and we were sitting as commentators. We were sitting there and like, right, okay, the Bart won it. Bart
mm,
100% won it, right? Because from where we were sitting, we were like, right, okay. But then obviously, what the judges see and how they score it is probably different from me as a spectator or you as
yeah,
a spectator. And the way they judged it was there was three different parts of the match. So I think
mm,
the
every,
guy that he was
mm,
fighting won the first part. The second part was very close. There was one part of the second part where Bart was like, "Well, hold on, I got a submission on there," and they were like, "No, you had a submission attempt, right?"
mm,
So, because obviously you know yourself being a submission hunter that
yeah,
to get like the advantage or to get a point for it, you need to have the submission on, whether
yeah.
it be a guillotine, kimura, or whatever submission. And they said you didn't fully have it on, so because of that, he
Mm.
lost the second.
I just think it's a silly rule anyway. Like I got loads of thoughts on the rule sets. I think we can't come up with one that everyone likes, right? But the submission attempt thing, like why should I get if I'm in MMA, right? I attempt to throw a jab, I don't get any credit for attempting to throw a jab or attempting to land a right hand or attempting to submit them. Like you
Yeah,
either got it or you didn't get it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I find it really interesting the rule sets. Like what is an almost pass?
yes,
Not a pass.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but he did win the third part. He won
Yeah,
the
yeah,
third
yeah.
part, and I remember he came off, and obviously he was gutted. Josh was fucking yeah. Josh was
He's
crazy, man.
funny, Josh. He
Do
was
you know what I
so
mean?
angry. Yeah.
It was funny after it as well because obviously Josh had went. I don't know. I can't even remember if this was on the pay per view, but Josh went up and to
Yeah, on
accept
the
the
mic.
award.
Yeah, yeah. It
And he
was.
just went up. He was like, and we were in Ireland. Right? And he just went up and let loose, man. And we're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this is
That's
going to
an
go
insight into
crazy.
the training room as well. He's ruthless. So yeah.
So, but it was funny as well because I remember they were all, as that last match went in, obviously the Tom Barry match, they were
Yeah.
like, shit, how's this going to work? Because
Yeah, yeah.
if
Yeah.
Tom wins, it's now a draw. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do, I remember they came over, the commentators, and we are sitting going, well, how about you look at submissions? And they're like,
Mm,
has anybody taken a note of who submitted who? I'm like,
mm,
yeah. So I happen to every event I go to, I take a note of Mitch Goode won by triangle or Josh
yeah.
Williams won by such and so on. So I had it all written down, and I remember going through it, and I was like, right, okay, Wales won, Wales 2, Ireland 1, Ireland 2, and we got to I think it was like 5-4, and there was
Yeah.
still another 3 to go, and I'm like, fuck. What happens if it
Yeah.
ends up a draw in submissions? But then it was lucky that I think Wales were 6-4 or 6. Well, I can't remember. There were 2 in front, and then it was going into the Tom Barry match. So it was a winner take all. So obviously Tom wins it, Wales
Mm,
win. Obviously opponent wins it, then Ireland wins. So
yeah.
and what a final match! What a final
Yes.
match that was. So
He's brilliant. Yes. He's an absolute nightmare. Like
yeah,
I like training with him, but I also just can't stand it. It's horrible. It doesn't make
but
sense.
yeah. But listen, they did well. I'd say it was a great event. Obviously, this event, the Grapple Wars. So, I mean, how did you find out then that you were going to be on the card, the very first Grapple Wars card in Wales?
Yeah, Josh let me know a few weeks ago. I think I've had two. There was an opponent. There was a guy who had a match. I think he had a pull out. So then I stepped in, and I think that guy's out now. So now I'm grappling against Chris Walsh. That's his
Yeah,
name, yeah, Chris Walsh. So I've got him now for I believe it's for the title. I can't remember.
yeah,
So we'll find out. So I think it's for the title, which is like amazing. So I'm really glad that it got bumped up to that because it's quite a cool match. He's a
yeah,
Polaris veteran, I think. He's fought against Jed Hugh recently. He's been on quite a few different things. He's been around for a while, so it's going to be a nice test for me. It's going to be brilliant.
yeah, yeah. As I say, it was funny that because I remember seeing the matches, and as I say, the matches changed as you said a couple of times, and then
Yeah,
when I got the list sent over of all the matchups, and I remember I'd messaged you before it got changed to Chris
yeah,
Walsh,
yes, yeah,
right? And then I'm looking at the matchups, and they sent to me, and I'm like, Mitch Goode's not on it, right? Because I remember you messaged
yeah,
me last night, and I'm like, I can't see your name on the list anymore. And I'm like, has the match? And then I had to message Gaz, and I'm like, Gaz, is Mitch Good still on? He's like, yeah, he's up against Chris Walsh. And I'm like, thank fuck for that.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Because I didn't know. I just got told on when was it? Tuesday. I was training, and then sorry, Josh came over and he said to me like, "Oh, by the way, your opponent's change is Chris Walsh, and it's for the title." I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" And then we just carried on training. So that's how I found out. Really, yeah.
yeah,
So I knew I was on the show the whole time, and I didn't know anything about any of the changes till Tuesday. So
yeah.
not much changes though. We just carry on and do the job regardless.
I was going to say that. I mean, you're not one of these guys that kind of focus too much on. Do you know what I mean? Like your opponent and their opponent's game. I mean, you've got a game. You go out and do your thing. So the goal's the same. The opponent is just a different person.
Yeah, I think I do look at opponents, but only for like a couple of little traits and stuff that I've seen, like any patterns, because I think it can change so much from person to person, especially in like across amateur, especially at professional. At the higher levels of professional, there's a little less change between matches. Like you could watch a guy, he's going to look the same across his fight. So if you look at like I don't know anyone in the top 5 in the UFC or top 5 in like Polaris or ADCC, you know what guys are going to come with.
Yeah,
Uh, but then things can change at a lower level, especially it changes a lot from week to week, let alone month to month or year to year. So I look at a couple of trends that I see in him, and then just focus a little bit in my training, just in situational rounds and stuff. But everything else just stays the same. Just my
yeah,
grappling's got to be better than his. So
yeah. Do you think that's better? I mean, as the higher up the belts you get, because as you said, the lower belts it can be a little bit more unpredictable.
mm,
Because as you said, week to week, it could be like what's fashionable this week. So everybody's
yes,
working on that. So, but obviously at the higher belts, as you said, people tend to have a specific game. So you know that this person's going to come in and that's what their game is. So,
yeah.
um,
It's hard to know what people are good at in the gym because I know there's guys who I train with who've got a fantastic, like I don't know, for argument's sake, say they've got a fantastic guillotine, but nobody knows about it because they've never hit one in a pro show or
yeah,
so there's things always in the back pocket, so you can't be completely focused on what they do in their competition stuff necessarily, but there's always set patterns that they know work, and when under pressure and when a little bit fatigued, everything resorts back to that, and there's no way they can change it. There's
yeah,
literally no way. So I think Chris Walsh is a black belt. I assume he's a black belt.
yeah,
Yeah. So there's things that he does in his matches that he'll never change. It will always stay the same. When he gets tired, he'll resort back to the things he's always done, and it's the same for me. It's the same for everybody at high level. So if you can pick out those traits in somebody, then you can just stay clear of them or start to counter them. You can add little things in there, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters too much. As long as you're improving yourself and making yourself better, everyone else feels the same. They're just in the way,
yeah. One thing we know with you though, you're going to come in to finish. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not coming in for any other reason than I'm going to finish this guy. So, as we talked about off air, I mean, you've got for me probably one of the highest that I've seen in regards to MMA, 89% submission rate, and your submission rate is very very similar in grappling at your smooth comp as well. So,
Mm.
we know that you're coming in, you're going to finish, and Chris Walsh will be very very wary of that as well. That listen, you're a guy that's going to bring it to him.
Yeah, it's just eventually, like, I think a lot of people say they go for submit, like, I'm there to get the sub. I think everybody is, right? But then when it comes down to like, oh, if I just hold on here for a couple of minutes, then I'm going to win. A lot of people take that option, but
Yeah.
no, I feel like just try and kill them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But that's the exciting thing. I mean, that's what people they want. They want you to come in a grappling event. They want you to come in and put on a show. I mean, you've been around for a while, so you've seen some probably boring matchups where it's
Oh yeah,
been
terrible. Yeah, there's
yeah,
some terrible matchups. I think take some risks, and you're gonna, a lot of them are gonna go better than you expect them to go.
yeah,
I think a lot of people have that little bit of wariness. It depends how you train as well, because a lot of guys do a lot of the way that we've trained all the way from like white belt up to probably purple belt, especially, was like really short rounds and like King of the
yeah,
Hill style rounds in our gym. So our gym's always been about like, if you want to have more time training, finish your partner, because if you don't, you're going off the mat and you've got to wait till you come back on again. So it was a lot of like King of the Hill,
yeah,
3-minute rounds, 2-minute rounds, first to submit, not first to score.
yeah,
Which for IBJJF and stuff was quite a downfall, because I'd either win spectacularly, and I'd win by majority of my matches by submission, or I'd get held down in a side control position and just lose because I don't know how to escape. So that was a huge development from me from like start of my purple belt up to now, especially, was like just understanding that aspect of it. But you maintain the kill shots that you had at lower belts as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's working well anyway. I feel like I'm doing all right. So it's good.
Well, listen, you're doing very well. Obviously, got brown belt December last year,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
got promoted by Tom. So, but again,
yeah.
big congratulations on that. But I mean, that was a well-deserved belt as well. There's nobody can turn around, because you know yourself, when some people get graded and you look at them and think, I don't know. But whereas yours was 100% well-deserved, because
Yeah.
you're out there and you're doing it all the time.
Well, when I got my purple belt, I got my purple belt on like the Sunday, and then the next Sunday I won the British at purple belt.
Yeah,
So, and then the other way around. Like, I feel like you should be more than ready for your belt when you get it. And I think
yeah,
a lot of people get it when they're just about ready for it, and then they progress within that belt range. But it's that thing where like you need to know that you're ready. You want to be able to walk into a gym anywhere in the world and be like, yeah, I'm a brown belt, and nobody debate it. Because
yeah,
there's guys who like, we've all seen guys come in the gym and they tell you they're a purple belt, and you go, what? Or you go,
yeah,
I don't ever want to be that guy, you know.
yeah. So that's me, because I'm an old guy. When I walk in the gym, everybody's like, "Let's get."
No chance. I'm going to
So,
a killer.
so, but sometimes I am, but other times I'm like, "Oh fuck, I can't do this." So, but that's just. Well, I say that's an age thing, but obviously Amos is fucking not far off my age. Do you know what I
It
mean? And
doesn't
he's
make
out there.
sense. I think James Amos doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
He's
and
talked
he's
about
out
this
there.
before. You have like different types of age, right?
Yeah,
So mental age, physical age, and all the rest of it. So he likes to think his physical age is that of like a 25-year-old. So as long as he can maintain that, he's
yeah.
gonna be fine.
Well, he'll be absolutely brilliant. I
Yeah.
absolutely love him. I love, I'd say, not just him, but what you guys do at Impact Gym as well. I mean, a very big fan. I'd say I love seeing every one of you guys out there doing your thing, regardless if it's grappling, MMA, or whatever it is you're doing. So
Yeah.
I always keep an eye on the results and what you guys are doing.
I
So
appreciate that. That's cool.
what's next then? So obviously we know MMA stuff. That's not grappling. So, but what
Yeah.
would you like to see grappling? What would you like to do
Well,
going forward?
I've got a few dates already scheduled in. I've got Victory, I think it's in May. So I'm
Yeah,
matched on that, I believe. And then I'm on a show called Clash up in Leeds in June also. So I've got a busy few months, and then I'll be looking to make my pro debut in MMA later on in the year. So for now, it'll be grappling and then go between the two. So I'm attempting to do both at the same time for a little bit. So we'll see how that pans out. So see how the
yeah,
training goes and stuff. I am interested in doing a combat jiu-jitsu rule set at some point. So,
yeah,
and I know there's that. I know Alpha running shows this year that are like, they call them the Luta Libre combat jiu-jitsu. So I'd like to test in that rule set, because I think that's quite a fun rule set. If you're
yeah,
an MMA guy, it's like a perfect thing. If you've got MMA guys and grapplers, it's like a nice little
yeah,
hybrid to bring them together a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. Because I know that Ash. I think were they training doing that at one point. I'm sure they trained to do that. Was it
Yeah,
not?
they've done little bits of it because when we had visiting for ages was Tom Halpin as well, who's obviously the combat jiu-jitsu world champion
Yeah,
or former. I don't know if they've had another event since, but yeah, Tom Halpin was visiting us for a while. But like just hearing him talk about it, it's quite a cool rule set. I think it's quite
yeah,
fun. A lot of
yeah,
people like talk. I don't know. They speak bad of it sometimes. I think the combat jiu-jitsu stuff, but I think it's really entertaining.
yeah. What about power slap? You've
Power
obviously seen
slap,
the power
awful.
slap. You
Absolutely
th-
awful. I'll
yeah,
watch the. I'll watch a clip as it comes through. Just like absolutely like bamboozled by it. Like, who would sign up to that?
yeah. Well, listen, there's a lot of what was it? Tim Sylvia. Tim Sylvia's just stepped up. He's a way to be obviously big ass heavyweight that was in the
Yeah, he
UFC
wants to get
years ago,
slapped
man.
by Tim Sylvia. No.
So, and but yeah, listen, it's people are watching it, and as you said, where I get to see it as well is your reels on Instagram, or
Yeah,
if there's a reel comes up on Facebook, and you look at it and you think, wow, man, like
yeah, it's ridiculous. Maybe they should do that as like for combat jiu-jitsu. If there's no submission, just have a power slap at the end of
because
it.
that power slap is almost like you being in MMA and having a free punch. Do
Oh,
you know what I mean?
ridiculous.
A free hit. And I mean, there's only one thing going to happen. Somebody's going to get knocked out.
It's like
Um,
fully locking your arm out in an arm bar and then going, ready, try and break my arm. It's like
yeah, yeah,
big
nah,
punch, big slap. I don't know. It's the dumbest rules that we talk about a lot at the gym. I think it's absolutely hilarious that people even sign up to do it. They must be, and they're not even getting paid loads. They're not even
yeah,
getting paid much at all. So
nah, nah.
yeah,
So we're
awful.
definitely not going to see Mitch Goode doing any power slapping.
It depends how much money it is, I guess. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's true. That's true. If the money's good, then
Everyone's
I'm
got
sure
a price, haven't they? I'll
yeah,
be
yeah, we'll
seeing
do
Tim Sylvia next weekend.
it.
Yeah.
Final thing for you then, Mitch. So obviously, again, you've been in the game for a good bit. As you've done a lot of things. I mean, the MMA career's absolutely booming. Your obviously grappling career is booming as well, as you're doing some great things. But anybody in particular you want to shout out to? Friends, family members, teammates, sponsors, anything like you may have.
My teammates in Drag and Impact, so training very hard at the moment as a team. Like all of us have got big things coming up, so being in that room and having everybody push each other is amazing. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to my girlfriend for always supporting me for all this. Is a big struggle. Like a lot of weekends away, a lot of nights away training, mornings away. I feel like I'm just constantly out doing stuff for me. So big shout out to her for helping me with everything.
Definitely.
Sponsors. So I've just signed another year with Tatami, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
So if you want a discount, good 20 for your 20% off. Buy their stuff because they're better than it's better gear than a lot of places. I will say premium, and then Grapple Machine as well. So look up Grapple Machine if you are serious about your strength conditioning for your grappling. You need to be with these guys. Yeah, so a lot of like Ash Williams, Ash Bendel, a lot of the dry guys you see doing really well, like working with Tom at Grapple Machine. So, my shout out to my sponsors. Yeah,
Definitely. Listen, Tatami should give me my own uh, discount code, the amount of stuff I buy off them. So,
yeah, well, that's what I mean. There's no better place to buy gear. I really think that. Like, I'm so happy with this as a sponsor. It's almost like absolutely, it's just unbelievable. If I'm honest,
yeah.
because there's loads of brands for jiu-jitsu, but everyone ends up buying tatami because it's just better. So
Sizing as well. The sizing's good because you know yourself. I mean, how many times you bought a rash guard and it's just,
yeah,
let's say you wear a medium, a large, or whatever, and you buy the rash guard and you think, shit, that's either too small, it's too
yeah.
big. But then as you go to tatami, and tatami usually have it spot on. So
The gis as
plus,
well. They do A3 long as well, which I need because A4 is like massive on me, and then
yeah.
A3 is too small, so I need somewhere in between. So they rock everything. Yeah.
But they
Anyway,
also do a for the smaller, stockier guy, or the wee fat guy, as I like to call it. They do an A2H, which is an A2 Husky range, which is it's the same size. I think it's same size or weight as an
oh,
A3,
mad.
but it's for the smaller guys. So
Oh,
um,
nice.
and
I didn't know that.
tatami, as I said, that most of the geese I've got are tatami geese, and I always buy the A2H, and I always like other people message me and say, "Oh, Stoom, this is a new gi for Scramble or for whoever. And I'm like, do you have the A2H? And I'm like, no, and I said, well, I just go to tatami then. So,
Yeah. We'll
so
try it. Look, anybody who's sponsored by him, right? So you talk to Chris, talk to Jet, talk to anybody who's sponsored by him, and we'll all just shout you to get a sponsor. We'll try and get you some.
I love it, Mitch. Absolutely love it. But listen, always a pleasure, brother. Always a
Yeah,
pleasure. So guys, there we go. Then we're going to have Mitch Goode, Impact Gym, Team Drag. Going to be heading to Grapple Wars 1. That's going to be Saturday, 29th of April. Now, ticket availability, as I said, hit up Mitch if you want to go and see Mitch. Make sure you do hit Mitch up, as he may still have tickets available. If you can't get anything from Mitch, then make sure you head over to Grapple Wars. They do have a Facebook page and also an Instagram page, and they're updated regularly. So, and I believe if you message them, they come back to you within, I think it's about an hour or so at the most. So they are pretty prompt with responses. So, absolutely buzzing to see you again, Mitch. Always love seeing you out there. Definitely one of my favourite guys. And as I said, always hold you guys at Impact Gym in high regard. So I can't wait to see you guys. And even you mentioned about a couple of them potentially coming up to SGI. So it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see. I know Team Drag's well represented at SGI as always. So
keep an eye on Chris Sterling. He's taking everything this year.
Yeah,
He'll take
Chris.
everything.
Chris is, I think I'm speaking to him tomorrow or this week, Friday, I think. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, Chris, an awesome kid as well. Absolutely love chatting with him. So,
mate. He is unbelievable. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, awesome.
So, make sure you keep an eye out for Chris. Chris is doing great things in grappling, not just grappling, MMA as well. So, we're going to see a lot more of him this year, definitely. So, Mitch, absolute pleasure, brother. Thank you again. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, bro. All right.
Cool. See you in a bit.
Take it easy.